Okay, hold on. I'm definitely going to need a drink for this before I...
Oh, man. I gotta say, this one, a couple times, really fucking made me laugh hard.
Yeah.
And one time was for a reason that we've mentioned similar things before.
Mashed potatoes. So vague.
Yeah, there's been...
Like everything's a mesh, damn it. You
Well,
can breathe through it.
yeah.
It's a plastic bag. Yeah, that'll do it.
This one... I really gotta I gotta organize these notes a little better. I mean, they're not the worst organization, but I just gotta make a folder of past ones and then... Oh, that's why I fucked up and labeled this one as a season one. Everything
Looks
functional.
like it's recording. Levels
Red leather, yellow leather.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. If you want to go that far.
Well, I mean, is red leather farther than yellow leather, or I don't know how the color coding works on that for distance in leather.
I think red leather, yellow leather is one leather Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that sounds right. Seems legit. Levels seem to be maybe okay. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not like you're ever going to edit them.
Yeah.
No, this is just your private torment, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
No.
what I, for
This
all
is my own personal hell. Thank you.
For all I can tell,
I'm telling you to watch The Good Place. You'll understand what's going on better.
Yeah. Whatever. I've got booze. So what the fuck is it?
All right. So first off, right off the bat, cold open. First thing that pops up is the German title. Back to a good German title.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Das Zeitloch, the time hole. Infinitely better than the cabin.
Yeah.
This is 100% the time hole.
It also it's just unlike our guessing last time, you were just pretty much like, I wonder what it's about.
Yeah.
So we open with right off the bat, the camera's doing crazy shit. It's doing like wibbly wobbly, like tilting, and then it does the weird like skipping slow mo where they don't use the high speed camera, but they still slow mo it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They're doing both of those things as this girl's just running away from who I just call Fat Cowboy the entire time.
Yeah, no,
you learn his name later, but you don't care by that point. He's just Fat Cowboy.
Yeah, he's already established himself as Fat Cowboy. It's true.
That's all he is to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even call him that. Honestly, I just called him the guy in my brain.
But yeah, Fat Cowboy's chasing her with an axe, and then she runs outside the cabin.
So I'm guessing like this is like discount Sam Raimi. Like they saw Evil Dead and were like, we want to do something like that. And
I mean, I could see perhaps, but not really. Yeah.
I gotta say this one's probably one of their more creative episodes.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. So she runs out of the cabin. He chases her. Then the camera then there's like a posterized effect over the image, and he yells that the land must be purified, and then he axe murders her. And then we get a weird transition, that weird transition wipe that they've never done before, and then didn't do for the rest of the episode, where they did like replace squares randomly with the new image. They did that transition wipe to Angie and the Hoff.
should we see who the editor for this one is? And it's like a new person or something.
The girl doesn't get axe murdered though, right? I don't remember that.
I want to say he throws it, and she like screams.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I remembered she just runs off into the wilderness.
No, she falls down.
Well, yeah, but she runs off and he just goes after her. That's all I remember. Yeah. You probably got it better than I do. I might have been tuning out when that happened.
Now
it's at least implied because she does scream and
now all I'm seeing is Pepe Le Pew doing a little pounds.
But a fat cowboy.
Yeah. I mean, Pepe Le Pew is a fat cowboy. So not too hard of a stretch.
I mean, he's neither fat nor a cowboy. So there's a bit of...
He's a skunk, Marty.
There's a bit of...
Yeah, so not much of a difference between a skunk and a fat cowboy.
Do you know what a skunk is, Brian? Because...
Once again, he's not the one with the big red mustache who shoots in the air.
Yeah.
That's a different guy.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, we get this.
So, I got to go back to this. I'm imagining Marty just be like, the one who chases the Roadrunner, Elmer Fudd, right? And he says rabbit season all the time. And then
Daffy Duck, the one that spins around a lot.
Yeah. Gets really angry and spins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaks of southern accent, just all like I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daffy Duck.
Yep.
And there's that big rooster, Pink Panther, that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get this weird transition that just stuck out like a sore thumb. And then it's Hoff walking into the office. This is the second time we've been in the office this season.
Yeah.
We're screaming along on it now. And he's got a fire axe and he's like super excited to show off.
They remembered that they have an office.
Yeah.
They're gonna use it again.
And so it's the axe is like a little award he got for pulling like a kid out of a burning car.
Yeah.
And so the fireman gave him like a old fire axe that they did an inscription on for him.
Yeah, it's a kind of a weird scene because he's super proud of this. He's super proud of this fire axe, and he says it's one of the greatest axes of all time.
Yeah,
that's how he describes it. And then he just says, "Oh, it has a description." And that's basically.
And it's supposed to be a super old axe, but it's totally just an axe they bought at Ace Hardware.
Yeah,
they didn't even bother getting a wooden handle like weathered looking one. It's just like a red handled fire axe.
Yeah, it absolutely. He's like it's one of the greatest axes of all times. I'm not going to give you the details of why it's one of the greatest axes of all time.
It's the greatest axe of all time that Home Depot sells on a clearance.
Yeah.
And so he's figuring out where he wants to mount it on the wall, and he tells Angie he's holding it up, over here, and he's standing on the couch, and he's holding it up, and he tells Angie, oh, there's a cigar box with a hammer and some nails.
In a drawer somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, if Destiny was there, she'd tell him where it was filed.
Yeah, she would know.
Wait,
didn't she... Wasn't the thing is that she found a hammer?
Well, it was filed under H.
Right. Yeah, she literally found the hammer. I didn't even think about that until just now.
Well, he could also just mark where the holes are and use nails and just use the back end of the axe, right?
Yeah, that would work too.
Okay. Anyway... and then as he's turning around talking to her, then he drops the axe like a real big idiot and bonks himself on the noggin. And so he's just he's on the couch for a second.
The funny thing about that particular bit is that when he's telling Angie to get me the hammer and nails, she just sort of stares at him uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
So what you're saying is, from this point on, the entire episode is a Jacob's Ladder scenario.
You're not too far off.
Yeah,
Once again, you have to remember, Marty wrote this show.
You're not wrong. It's all the alcohol. I mean, granted, I was 11.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have started drinking so soon. We think it's had an effect on you.
Yeah, all that hard liquor.
Yeah, you can't remember which one Pepe Le Pew is. you can't remember the details of the show you wrote at 11.
I do like that this has turned into us telling him about the show that he wrote.
Yeah. It's like that really... Have you seen that short film where this woman is talking to a guy about how hard she's having right now because her dad has Alzheimer's and she has to take care of him? And the bus comes, and he's the old man. He's her dad, and he doesn't remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think...
Yeah. This is basically playing out, but with Baywatch Nights and alcohol instead. Marty's just an old demented man. So, Teague walks in, and again, Hoff is somewhat annoyed that Teague exists.
Yeah, Teague walks
So
in.
far, I can tell everybody is annoyed that Teague
Teague walks in and he says, "Oh, another headache."
Yeah. So he's like, "Oh, all right, jerks, hop in. We're hunting ghosts."
Yeah, basically, he just says, "What?" He says, "What do you know about ghosts?" And Hoff saw, "I don't believe in them, but they scare me."
He does say that. It is a great line.
I mean, that's about the right way to think of it. I mean,
and so then Teague's like, "All right, meet here. I need somebody who doesn't believe in ghosts to check out this haunted house with me."
Yeah, apparently his reasoning for bringing them along is that every ghost hunt needs a skeptic. I think.
Yeah, that's what he says. And
he specifically says, "Don't go in the house until I get."
Yeah, don't go until I get there. He's very clear on that. So then on the way, this is a scene that made me laugh a little bit. Is they show the car going down the road up to the cabin, yeah. And Angie is reading the dictionary definition of the word ghost like she's opening a middle school essay.
Yeah, it is real weird. Like she's never one of them hasn't heard what the ghost is. And she has to figure that out.
Yeah, and then she reads another definition, and then it just sounds like she's reading the monster manual again.
Yeah, that was the thing, though. Is it
incorporeal monsters cannot be damned.
Let's have ghost hunt. What is it? And then she even talks about what is it? The first ghost is some Spartan. Who was exercised by a necromancer, and then Hoff makes a dumb joke. About because he doesn't know what a necromancer is.
Yeah, and then she's got to flip to the necromancer page. Necromancers have 5d8 plus 25 hit points.
They have d6 hit dice. And,
Hey Hoff, do you happen to have any magical weapons? We're gonna need at least a +2 bonus to hit the ghost,
or maybe holy water.
Yeah. I mean, Hoff is far from his favorite terrain, so
it's true.
He's not going to get those bonuses.
There's no water around.
Yeah. So they pull up.
I think he actually describes the term necromancer as kinky or something. That's what I remember.
Did I ever tell you about the campaign where they decided to kill? We had to fight a white, but it was a campaign where the dude. It was Wolfgang Bauer's group, and he decided that he didn't want magic weapons as a thing, so nobody had magic weapons.
Sure.
But, it was only silver or magic weapons to hit it. So we ended up basically just going and finding silver ore from this mine, right, and just putting it in sacks and just beating him beating the white like sacks of oranges. I do
remember hearing about somebody who upset at the price of making a silver weapon. Just decided to grab silver pieces and just hammer them into a club and beat things to death with it.
This is like one step further lower than that, where we just put silver in sacks.
You just put silver in a sack and just beat people with it.
Gave him the soap party like his private pile.
Yeah. Yep.
In any case, so
this is my rifle and this is my sock. Yeah, so they pull up to the cabin, and it's just an ordinary-ass cabin in the woods.
A military rhyme involving that ends with sock is dangerous.
No, we know where it's going.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's like a limerick. You know where it's headed.
And they named both.
And Angie's like, well, it doesn't look haunted. And
which is a weird statement to make.
Yeah.
In general.
And so they're like, it's like, I can't remember exactly when it was. It was like close to 10, and Teague's supposed to get there at 10:30. And Angie breaks down how ridiculous the dynamic between them is supposed to be, where she's like, I'm a scientist and I believe in ghosts. and you're just some asshole who doesn't.
Yeah. They 100% just completely acknowledge and peg where those rules are.
Yeah, and it sounds so ridiculous when she lines it up like that, and it's like, shouldn't she be the skeptic?
Yeah.
But no. And then
she also says that ghosts don't sound scary to her, like the concept of a ghost.
Yeah, she believes in the paranormal, but she's not afraid of no ghosts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doomed to wander the earth forever.
Yeah.
Repeating your regrets. What's scary about that?
Yeah, and that's why she's trying to get Hoff to go in. She's like, "This is not a big deal. I believe in the paranormal. I'm not scared of these ghosts."
That's the weirdest part to me. Is that they've been told this place is haunted by a dude who does this. Who has
never been wrong about anything so far.
Right, and and she specifically believes in ghosts.
In the thing that he has said exists there.
Yeah. But she's like, okay, let's go in there.
Yeah, let's not wait for Teague at all. This is ridiculous. Let's go in.
Yeah.
Hoff,
what could happen?
Hoff.
It's not like it's haunted.
The one who is skeptic and is supposed to be the one who is flippant about this shit, is also afraid of ghosts that he does not believe in, and thinks they should not go in until Teague comes.
Well, from Hoff's standpoint, seemed to be more about just.
Yeah, I know.
Teague told me not to go in.
I know.
He's paying me.
I know.
I'm letting in.
I know. But he also has previously established he is afraid of the ghosts he does not believe in.
Yes.
Who knows? The reason why is that maybe Teague needs a permit, to go inside the house.
So Hoff counters this argument by basically saying, "Well, what you think doesn't matter, Angie, because you want to bang me."
What?
Exactly.
Well, no. To be more accurate, is Angie's essentially basically challenging him to go in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're a pussy if you don't go in.
Yeah.
Is basically what she's saying.
What, are you scared of the ghosts that I am sure exist and you don't believe in? Are you scared of them? And Hoff was like, yes, but you want to bang me.
And his retort, which is actually pretty accurate, is that she's super competitive, and what was it?
And there was latent attraction.
Yeah, and that is part of her attraction to him. And technically, he's spot on there.
Yes, and then Angie
she is competitive and totally wants to bang.
But then Angie counters with, "Yeah, but we need to put the groceries away," and then Hoff concedes, and they go inside.
Yes. And then there's some dumb banter on the way.
It's a very silly argument on all sides.
Yeah, none of it makes sense. It's very silly, but then this is Baywatch Nights.
Yeah.
And then there's some dumb banter on the way.
Yeah.
As I said, like what is it? Hoff's super critical of Angie bringing just potato chips with.
Well, she makes fun of him for his carrot sticks.
Because he brings carrot sticks, which makes sense. He's a lifeguard, so he's trying to be he's trying to be healthy. They just sort of snipe at each other and make fun of the whole situation of how can there possibly be ghosts in this haunted cabin.
Yeah, and then Angie lectures Hoff about doubting the cabin being haunted, even though she's the one who's just egged him into going inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they just dropped the script and like, oh no, all the names fell off, and they just gave people random dialogue.
It does feel a little bit like that.
Maybe we shouldn't use sticky notes for the names of who's saying what.
Yeah, I was like,
because when they all fall off, we don't know what to do.
This is the last time we're using sticky notes for this stuff.
Yeah.
You need to actually write these down in pen. Arrows and something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sticky notes.
They use different color ink or something. I don't know. And then, so, as Angie, they're like talking back and forth as they're like, Angie's in the kitchen putting stuff in the fridge. Hoff is like opening doors and windows to like air it out, and the windows are kind of stuck. So again, he's checking for a hammer now. He's like, "You have a hammer? I need to bang these windows open," which is a very Hoff approach to the problem. I just need to bang it open.
Yeah. When in doubt, bang.
Yep. Yeah. And then like the front door like closes itself.
Yeah, as soon as he gets a window open.
Yeah. And then, like, he turns around, and then there's, like, a door across from the front door. And he, like, opens that door. And it's like he opens the door to the case from Pulp Fiction, because they do the thing where he just opens the door and the light just shines on his face. And he's like, I don't think we're alone.
Yeah, he also starts hearing somebody singing.
Yeah.
Around this time.
Yep.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling.
Yep.
Oh, my darling. Type of time.
Yeah. And so this hallway, completely different looking building. Like, this is like, it's just a different style of building completely.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is like a log cabin.
Yeah.
Cabin.
Like,
and this is more like wood paneling.
Yeah, well, it's way more finished, but it's got like old style lighting.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah, it's looking like your basic haunted mansion bullshit. A little bit.
Weird bit too is that Hoff, of course, goes into this mysterious haunted hallway.
Yeah,
naturally, and closes the door behind him.
Yeah,
and he's talking to Angie like the whole time, and she can hear him.
Yeah.
But she just sort of ignores it.
Yeah, she's not paying attention as he's like, there's some weird shit going on over here, and I'm just gonna follow it.
And she can 100% hear him because they're like talking while he's opening windows and all that jazz. He's all telling her how he has a closed mind and blah 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 blah.
Yep.
And again, she can hear him like 100% of the time while this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Even while he's like, "There's weird stuff. I'm hearing singing. There's a weird hallway here," and she's like, "Yeah, I'm putting away carrots."
Yep. And so then he follows the singing, and he finds a blonde bathtub who's very familiar to Baywatch Nights watchers.
Blonde bathtub?
A blonde in a bathtub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is the episode in which the now former Destiny
yes.
has returned, and she plays naked girl in bathtub. Who has more than one appearance in this in this episode. She is a very central character to this episode.
She is genuinely a very central
character. And one time she's out of the tub. Most of the time she's in the tub.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so, the not Destiny, she has a name in the credits, but they never say it in the episode.
Yeah, that's right.
She tells Hoff, like, you gotta get naked and get in this tub right now.
Yeah. As soon as he enters the room, he's like, "Oh, damn it! I didn't.
Sorry.
I didn't mean to walk in on you. Blah blah blah." And while that happens, it's like you hear a dude, you hear Fat Cowboy.
Yeah.
Start yelling for Sarah.
Yeah,
right?
he's yelling for Sarah.
He's yelling for Sarah, and as soon as not Destiny hears this, she's like, "You got to get in this tub, because if he finds you, he's gonna kill you."
Yeah.
But anyway, he does not get in the tub.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, this is very off-brand for Hoff.
A little bit,
yeah. But I mean, first of all, if he's going to defend himself against the Fat Cowboy,
no,
jumping in the water is his best bet.
It's true.
It's his favorite terrain.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to be gentlemanly at that point in time.
Yeah.
He's not fully aware of the gravity of the situation.
Yeah. Also, he thinks. Like, he still might suspect this is a ghost and is afraid to becoming a necromancer if he jumps in there.
Also true. That's also possible.
So the Fat Cowboy...
The ghost he doesn't believe in.
Yeah. So the Fat Cowboy shows up and says he'll kill Hoff and everyone like him. And then he throws a knife, and it's a really hilarious knife-throwing effect.
Yeah.
Where they do the thing where it's like, they show the knife, it's staying in the center of frame, slowly spinning as, like, the background... does the Hanna-Barbera scroll by.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah. And then it's it sticks into the wall next to Hoff. And then the cowboy asks where she is. And Hoff's like, she's in the tub. She's like naked, and he's like, yeah, with the bubbles. and then
that just pisses him off.
And then the Fat Cowboy throws another knife, and it pins Hoff to the wall by his shirt, and like nicks his arm a little bit. And then...
so they're not ghost knives. They're real...
Yeah.
They're real enough. Anyway.
Yeah. These knives have people touch on them.
Yeah.
And then we get the opening scream. It's been 10 minutes, and we finally get the opening, which I forgot was coming at this point. And died laughing for her the whole time. I thought we were in the middle of the episode at this point.
Yeah.
It snuck up on me.
They find new ways to do it.
They really did. 10 minutes. We're a quarter of the way through this episode. And the cold open is over. Yeah. It's like, oh, motherfucker. Oh, that really got me. That got me hard. Like, Jesus Christ. So, now Angie is wandering around trying to figure out where the fuck Hoff is. She's, like, yelling for him. Hoff rips himself free of the cowboy knife. Yeah, starts running away. Angie finds the door that Hoff went through, but it's stuck. It's, like, not opening at all. And Hoff's, like, running around this weird haunted building, and he, like, goes into a room with a whole bunch of dead people in it. There's, like, I don't know, like, what, like 6 maybe?
Was it 6? I don't remember if it was a 2.
There was a few. I don't know how many. I didn't count.
Oh, okay.
There was a few dead people in there.
I only really noticed 2, but there's probably I believe you if there's more.
There might be. I don't know. I just assume. I don't know. There's a bunch.
I just remember the lady in the bed and the dude in the bed and the dude by the cabinet dresser, whatever.
So.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Room with dead people.
So then the fat cowboy just busts in, and just kicks Hoff's ass for a minute.
Yeah.
And then just runs away.
It's real weird.
It is hilarious. Like, it's like they wanted. It's like this guy's trying to kill Hoff, but he goes in there and beats Hoff's ass. Hoff doesn't do anything to repel this attack. He just gets his ass handed to him.
No, yeah, he can't.
And then the cowboy just turns around and runs away.
Yeah. I think Fat Cowboy. I think the problem is Fat Cowboy has the inverse power of Hoff, and then he's stronger on land.
I don't know.
So it's the worst matchup possible.
Yeah. So Hoff's it's so weird. So then Hoff and Angie are still trying to like talk to each other.
Yeah, they can still basically yell at each other.
Yeah.
Despite being weird, different room type of situation.
And so Hoff finds like a bed, like a bedroom that's got a bed and a noose over it. And Angie's like, no, it's not real. Don't worry about it. It's just fucking you.
It's some sort of illusion.
Yeah.
Is what she.
Yeah.
Is what she.
She outlines like a few different ways it could be an illusion, but says none of them are real. And so then Hoff like puts his hand into the noose, and then the noose like yanks his hand up. And he's just like stuck there. And then Angie's like, okay, quit messing around. And then like the door finally like opens, and she goes into this room, and there's like player piano playing in the background. You're like, oh, it sounds like a saloon.
Yeah, it's some completely separate room.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh wait, no, it looks more like maybe like a parlor or something. It's, oh wait, no, it's like a room above a saloon for like in a brothel. It's like, all right, I got my shit. And the little guy from Seinfeld, who's Kramer's friend, little midget dude, he's on the couch there. And you're like, hey, it's Kramer's friend.
Yeah.
And he's like smoking a cigar, and it's almost like him and Angie are having completely different conversations with each other.
Yeah.
Where like she's asking him, like, what year is this? What's the date? And he's like, why aren't you over here naked?
So David Lynch made this episode?
It's very David Lynchy.
Yeah.
I think this.
Actually, yeah.
I think they might have made this episode after watching Twin Peaks.
No, yeah, that actually tracks. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
And so then Angie throws a hat at him, and this dispels the midget.
Yeah.
The hat of the spell midget?
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah.
It's really...
She like grabs the hat, and she checks it out. She's like, oh yeah, this hat has a spell midget on it. And then she throws it at him, and then there's this weird, like, it hits him, and he's like, ah, fuck!
Yeah, he basically just kind of sort of fades out.
Yeah, he like freaks out for a second. He's like, ah, and there's like some weird, like, flashing shit going on. And then he fades out.
So was it all recorded backwards, and then they were just speaking so that it sounded like it was forwards?
And then
I don't think so. That sounds like the dumbest way to do that.
Well, that's never mind.
I know. I know that would be how David Lynch would do it. Yeah. I get it. But this is Baywatch Nights, and that's not how they do things. Yeah, it's weird because her idea is like, oh, I'll just throw something at this illusion to make it go away.
Yeah,
but that's probably an illusion too. So
yeah, but yeah, it works, and like it bugs. He like bugs out for a second, then everything like fades. And then with Hoff, this like redheaded saloon gal like comes in, and Hoff's like stuck there, and then Fat Cowboy like she says some shit to him, but it doesn't matter because Fat Cowboy comes in right afterwards and just yells, "Daughter of Jezebel," and just fucking axe murders the shit out of her immediately.
Yep.
Seems legit.
Yeah. And then like Hoff gets away, and then now he's back with Not Destiny in the room with the tub again.
And same thing happens.
Yeah, same she repeats.
She repeats the same lines like RPG NPC.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, you got to get in this tub, otherwise he's gonna find you and kill you.
And then at this point you're like, this is a TNG time loop situation.
Yeah.
they cross the polarity of their shit, and now it's all fucked up.
Right. Yep.
Worf's coming back from the Battle tournament.
He's either lost, gotten first, third, or fifth place.
Yes. Depending on if Hoff gets in this tub.
It's all dependent on that.
Yeah.
How wet he gets is the
get wet.
The wetter he gets, the better Worf does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hobbs is running around this. He's going like bouncing around this hallway, just like a rat in a maze. He like leaves, ends up back in the tub room again.
Yeah, he keeps going like to different rooms, but they're the rooms that he's already been in.
Yeah.
He finds the dead people again. He finds the room with the noose again.
And Fat Cowboy again asks him where she is and if she's naked, about the Not Destiny. And then he goes into a bedroom, and this is the one time Not Destiny is not in the bathtub. She's in the bedroom, and then Fat Cowboy does the axe throw, and it does the Hanna-Barbera flying axe effect, and he just axe murders her. And then Hoff like leaves that room, and now he's in like a room with a fog machine. For a second, I was like, "Did he walk into the opening?"
That'd be great.
It would. No, that would have turned this into a 10. If he would have walked into the opening and then he was just walking through shit.
That would be very clever.
Yeah, too clever for this, but
yeah.
So, Angie and Hoff are still talking. They're still in communication, and Hoff's like, "Wait a minute, it's real." He's like, "It's real smoky. I can't see shit." And he's like, "Wait a minute, I'm at the beach." And he's like, there's some lady over there that looks like you, and she's like fucking way off in the distance, and you can't see shit about her. So I don't know how Hoff decides this.
She does look vaguely like Angie, but yeah.
She's like
in that she's a slim brunette woman.
Yeah.
Slim brunette woman in California. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
And he's like, it looks just like you.
Yeah. I mean, same hairstyle, I guess. But
yeah. Yeah. She's still like a fucking mile off, though.
Yeah.
And like as he's talking to Angie, he like turns back and she's like on the ground. And he's like, "Oh shit!" And this fucking lifeguard instinct kicks in. He runs over and he like rolls her over, and she's got like fucked up face makeup. Yeah. It's all like
she's old.
Yeah,
and such.
And like a witch. And then she just like fucking just fades away. And Angie's like, "Get out of there! Just wherever you are, leave it.
Leave.
Yeah,
it's a bad place.
Fucking eject." And he's like, "The door is gone. I don't know. I don't know how to leave the beach with no door." And he's like, "Wait a minute. There's a lifeguard tower. I'm gonna go check it out. See if I can get help over there." He runs over there, and when he gets there, the door won't open, and he's like knocking, and it's very easy to tell, so it doesn't really surprise you. You can hear that's a Hoff in there too. right away. You're like,
because he says go away.
Yeah, he's like, get the fuck out of here. And then Hoff's like, no, open up. I'm the Hoff, damn it. And then he's like, no, you're not. He opens the door.
I'm the Hoff.
Yeah, I'm the Hoff. And there's a dark Hoff. And
bad at. You're good at.
Yeah. And what's funny is I love the Hoff's reaction to this because he's like, no, I'm Hoff. And then real Hoff, who should know he's real Hoff, he immediately has an existential crisis at this.
He's never considered the possibility.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute. Are you my nightmare, or am I your nightmare? Hoff is immediately thrown for a loop by this guy.
Yeah.
and then Dark Hoff is like, they're the same. And then he just pulls out a knife and tries to murder the Hoff with it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh shit. And he like jumps off the lifeguard tower into the sand. And oh shit, it's quicksand. And he starts sinking in.
And again, he's telling Angie to help him.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't know how to help you in this situation.
You need to leave the beach. He's like, I'm dying.
Yeah. Which, it would have been hilarious if just as he's there, if just the other Hoff was just stabbing him in the head.
Yeah.
Because, like, it cuts to commercial break after he goes in. He goes in pretty deep, like, immediately. And then when it comes back from commercial, fades back in from commercial, his head's just barely over the sand. Right. And, like, his chin's already dipping in. I just would have loved it if Dark Hoff was just
walk up to him,
just tapping him in the top of the head, like carving a pumpkin. But he's sinking in pretty quick, and then when his head goes in, he just falls onto the beach again, and there's this weird, like, how would you describe that effect that they did over him falling through?
Jeez, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
It's sort of glittery.
It's like a lightning fog.
Yeah,
but like if lightning fog was a stripper.
If you said,
lightning fog does kind of sound like
if you met a stripper named Lightning Fog, then that's what this looks like.
Yeah,
that's the best way to describe this effect. It's
so yeah.
And I get the feeling that they're proud of it, frankly.
Yeah. So he falls through the beach onto the beach again.
Yeah.
And then the door is there. So Hoff he goes.
Leaves.
Yeah. And then so as he's back in like the hallway situation, and the fat cowboy is like, now it's your turn. All corruptions must die. And then now Hoff and Angie are like, Hoff's running around. He's yelling to Angie, and they're like, we sound pretty near each other. And so they do like a little. Yeah. He tells Angie to start counting, and he'll let her know if she's getting hot or cold. And Angie's in she's in a room that's very clearly like the corner of the cabin now. There's windows and shit. And she walks towards the door, and he's like getting colder. And she walks towards the corner, and he's like, all right, warmer. And then they figure out they're kind of like on top of each other spatially, but the building doesn't like line up.
Yeah, they're like in completely separate rooms, even though they sound like they're right next to each other.
Yeah, so like Hoff's at the door, and she's like a ways from the door. And so Hoff decides that there's only one way to open this door, and that's to bang it open.
Yep.
So he grabs something and just starts bashing it. And then
unzips his pants.
Yeah. He's like, listen, door.
You're going to take this and you're going to like it.
They call me the master of unlocking. So he bashes like a hole in the door, and it's a very like 80s music video effect when the door breaks open.
Yeah.
The whole door doesn't break open. It's just like where a doggy door would be, like explodes open in slow motion.
Yeah.
You expect Twisted Sister to come out of this hole.
Yeah. Yeah. You expect them to put a leg through,
yeah,
and then the rest of them comes.
Yeah.
And then they start singing.
Yeah.
You know how they do.
But instead, like, so there's very clearly the same hole for both Angie and Hoff. But when they look through the hole, there's a space between the hole.
Yeah,
there's a taint.
there's a big black void between these two doors.
Yeah.
And they can look through the doors at each other.
Yeah, it taint the present and it taint the past.
It's a time taint.
Yeah.
Time taint.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. This is the time hole.
Yeah. Which isn't a hole.
Yeah. So
Yes. Well, I mean, once you've rubbed the time taint enough, you'll get up to the time hole.
Yeah, you have to warm it up first.
Time frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
The time perineum.
Or gooches, some people.
The Grundle. The temporal Grundle.
Temporal Grundle.
So...
Temporal Grundle does sound like something out of a Monster Manual.
Yeah. Or the band that would have burst through that hole in the 80s.
Or, yeah.
It could be either one.
Yeah, that's true. You're right, damn it.
So, again, Angie having... I swear, Angie just cheats and reads the module they're running before they do it.
It feels
at this
that
point.
way. Yeah.
Because at this point, again...
Well, up till now, she's been really wrong about it.
She's been really wrong, but at the key moment, she just bullshits up an answer that's 100% correct.
Yeah. It's like it's as if she wasn't up until now, and now she just did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Well, she found the right page in Tobin's Spirit Guide.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. So, and so there's the space is really long too. It's not like 2 feet. It's like 10 feet.
Yeah.
And then Angie's like,
They're not spitting distance from each other.
yeah. And Angie's like, we have to touch. If we touch, we will realign our temporal axes.
Yeah. That's
Gobbledygook.
Exactly.
I mean, I think my impression is she's just throwing shit at the wall at this point.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, you're there. I want to be. We want to be in the same place. We should like touch hands. I guess.
We want to be at the same time.
Yes.
So they like reach through, and then the void like shrinks for them through the power of reaching. I don't know.
Yeah. It's probably some bullshit like because they will it to be closer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Closer.
And so when they touch, they like get their hands, and then they actually. It's funny because it's relevant later on, but they don't just like or anything. They fully like grab each other.
Right.
And then there's like fireworks. It's just like if you dispel a midget.
Right. The sparks.
Yeah, you get the sparks, and then they're falling down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
What stairs, you might ask? And then Hoff tumbles.
Yeah, literally just like shadowy stairs. Like it's sort of like lit by a single fluorescent light, and otherwise just darkness and stairs.
Yeah, so they're falling down the stairs, and then Hoff is tumbling outside down like a grassy little hill.
A bit like the lady in the intro did.
Yeah. And then he looks up, and then Teague's there. And Teague's like, God damn it, you went in, didn't you? And he's like, you fucking swap places. And then this is where Teague comes up with his gobbledygook bullshit.
Well, to be fair to Teague, he seems to have already known this.
No, he's supposed to be the DM. He's supposed to know what's going on with the module.
True.
But what he says is just gobbledygook.
Yeah.
Where he's like, okay, so you and Angie swapped places when you touched. And he's like, what's haunted is the place, not the time. And time is a continuum.
What?
Exactly. And that's the explanation, and that's all you're going to get.
Okay.
So, and Hoff's like, we gotta get Angie out of there.
Gotta figure it out.
Yeah. And Teague's like, I don't know if we can. He's like, you gotta be in the house to do the time warp now.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's just a jump to the left.
It's not just a jump.
yeah, it's
That's the problem.
yeah.
Well, there is a step to the right. You have to be in the right place at the right time.
You have to avoid falling in the time hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you have to do the jump to the left while touching the temporal Grundle.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why the pelvic thrust
It's key.
it drives you
Yeah.
insane. If you don't execute it in the right place, you fuck it all up.
Yeah.
And Teague's like, if you go in, you might just fuck this whole situation up worse. So, he's like, we gotta go in together. And so they show Angie, she's like sitting down in like the hallway. She's kind of freaking out now. And time has passed. It's like dark now. So, again, now it gets real weird for her. Because she, like, gets up and starts going down the hallway. Then she goes into this weird grope tunnel.
Oh, right. Yeah. I kind of forgot about that.
There's just a lot of hands. And they're getting real familiar with her. Like, she's in the mosh pit.
I remember that scene from Labyrinth.
It also looks like what happens to any woman who crowd surfs at a festival. Just hands everywhere.
I mean, yeah.
And...
Or Harvey Weinstein's office.
There probably wasn't any rotten penises present, but we're not positive on that.
Yeah. We can't say. Harvey Weinstein could be one of those names?
He could be. We don't know. And it's also doing the weird slow motion without a high-speed camera shit, where it's like...
The stuttery slow motion.
Yeah.
Marty's sad now because he has no more booze.
He's licking the ice cubes.
Sweet alcohol, take me away.
So we get almost the same information twice from two different people, which is fun. So Angie opens the door. Now she's in with not Destiny.
Yeah. Because up till now, for a bit of clarification, Angie's sort of been in her own different areas to where Hoff's been, and now she's where Hoff's been.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so she goes in, and this time Destiny doesn't tell... She doesn't tell her to get in the tub.
They're just sort of talking.
Yeah, they're talking. And she tells Angie that she's safe as long as she's in the tub. And that Angie's like, well, how do you know you're safe? And then she's like, well, I know if I get out of the tub, he'll definitely kill me. And so she tells Angie that Sarah was the fat cowboy's wife. And she became a prostitute in the weird past brothel they're in. Because Fat Cowboy needed money for the mortgage for their farm. And the idea was she was just going to become a prostitute just for a little bit until they could catch up on their debt.
For like a year or something.
Yeah. But then when she got enough money, she refused to quit. She started liking the job.
Yeah.
And then Fat Cowboy decided, well, if that's the case, I have to kill every motherfucker in this brothel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's general chain of events, yeah.
Yeah. And so now, Teague, basically tells the same thing to Hoff outside the cabin.
Yeah, he gives another retelling, like, so this is haunted by this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and technically you could have just edited the scene so that, they had sentences going back, but they decided to do the entire thing twice.
Pretty much.
A little bit. They give slightly different information, just because.
Yeah, it's like 65% the same, 35% different.
Yeah, they give slightly different information because not Destiny is giving it from her perspective, whereas Teague is giving it from like a historical perspective.
Yeah, and now the Fat Cowboy comes in. And Angie starts talking to him. She's like, maybe I could talk my way out of the situation. And Fat Cowboy starts tearfully explaining the situation. And how Sarah was just supposed to... At first it was just, supposed to be like, oh, just on the Saturdays, I'll go down and whore myself. And then it started just becoming more and more days of the week as she became just a bigger and bigger whore. And at a certain point, he's just like, all right, she's too far gone now. I have to murder everyone.
Yeah.
So, Teague tells Hoff that, like, okay, they go in, like, Hoff can go back to the ghost brothel, and Teague will be, like, their temporal anchor here. And when it's time to get out, they can't just touch. They have to, like, hold on for dear life.
Yeah. Because before they just sort of got fingers on each other with Angie and Hoff.
Yeah, they held on loosely, but they did let go.
Yeah.
And
they need to cling too tightly.
Yeah. So they lost control.
Yeah.
But this time, they have to be wrapped up like a deuce to get another runner in the night back out. So, Fat Cowboy, after he finishes saying his piece and crying, he goes back into murder mode.
Yeah. The story basically slows him down while he's sad about it. But then
he remembers.
But the retelling of the story also pisses him off.
Yeah, he remembers how big of a whore Sarah turned into, and that turns him into a murderer's rage man again.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. So Angie just starts running and screaming, and then Hoff hears a scream, runs to her, and it's in the newsroom. And so the information we got from Teague that we didn't get from inside the Ghost was that the Fat Cowboy was stopped by an immigrant girl who killed him and then hanged herself.
That's what the noose is about.
And that's what the noose is.
And now she goes into a room with the noose, but now there's a lady in the
Yeah.
noose.
So the noose is occupado already. And Hoff, they're closed in the room, and then Hoff's like, all right, I know how to solve this puzzle. I've done it before. And he picks up the nearest thing and starts bashing the door down again. And I mean, it's the proper thing. This has been time loop stuff. You gotta repeat the same action to get out again. You've done it once. Hoff plays his cards right here.
The only thing really I gotta say is we did sort of go over it, but I gotta say he did the little loop with Not Destiny 4 or 5 times or whatever.
No, I mentioned just the amount of times.
But I didn't mention that it was that around the 4th time I was like, get in the tub, Hoff. You do something different. So maybe with something.
Instead he's like, yeah. You say this part again. Uh-huh.
Instead he just sort of goes yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, at that point I'm like, maybe she's onto something. Get in the tub. There was already the hey, you got to get wet to power up, Hoff. But just in general.
I really think it's that he was scared of becoming a necromancer.
That's probably true. It would have been real good if there was a line later on in the episode.
Yeah, I think they might have added that dialogue in the car to explain why he doesn't get in the tub.
But anyway, so Angie's in the newsroom.
Yeah, and so as Hoff's bashing the door in, the hanging girl starts making noise and stuff.
And moving about.
Yeah.
Being creepy.
Yeah, just to scare him. Just freak him out a little bit. And then so Hoff bashes the door in, and we get the same music video explosion. It's the same hole in the same door. And this time Teague's on the other side. And now they all gotta touch together.
Temporal Grundle gun.
Yeah, there's still
that temporal Grundle, and now they gotta shrink it again.
Yeah. This time they've got 3 hands to work the Grundle.
Yeah.
And so
it's a big Grundle. You gotta.
Yeah. You get teamwork.
Gotta loosen the muscles.
Teamwork makes the dream work. And so once again they reach through. They do the touch, fireworks, tumbling down the stairs, tumble outside.
And I believe when they tumble down the stairs, it's just Angie and Hoff.
It's just Angie and Hoff.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then Angie and Hoff tumble outside, and then Teague runs out of the cabin, and woo, that was a doozy. And then Fat Cowboy runs out of the cabin with his axe, he's ready to murder their brains in, but then he just fades away.
Yeah, as he starts to leave the cabin, he fades away basically.
Yeah,
he gets 10 steps out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we come back. The crew is in the office, and this is where they pulled. It was all a concussion dream from the brain damage Hoff got by getting hit in the head with an axe.
Not very hard either.
Yeah, it just boned a little, but Teague's all right, now that you're not knocked out anymore. We gotta go handle this haunted house situation I have. And Hoff's like, fuck no. I ain't doing no haunted house bullshit.
Yeah.
And
I have a dream, and you were there. Fuck you.
And he's like, all right, well, we can do it tomorrow. He's like, not now, not ever. No time for haunted house. No. And this is when Angie notices that he has the knife wound on his arm from the ghost knife. And ooh, what was real and what wasn't. And Hoff's like, he's just freaking out, and he's like, I'm going for a walk, and I'm not going to sleep ever again. None of this makes sense. Fuck this shit. And then it's credits roll. It's the end of the episode.
I wonder if he's going to be skeptic next time.
100% he will be. Yeah.
100%. How long did it take Scully to get wise to things like, oh, supernatural shit's totally like a thing that just happens?
Yeah.
How long did that take?
It was what, the movie maybe?
Yeah, it was around there, or like the very late in the series.
I feel like she had decent explanations for most of the stuff, though. And because the stuff that she ended up interacting with wasn't like as batshit insane as the stuff that Mulder interacted with.
Yeah, well, that's part of the thing. Like she is that it works for Scully more because she has a scientific angle where she can sort of theorize a possible explanation to why it's not a ghost, or how a centipede man is coming after her or whatever.
Yeah. But when the Ajogan comes at you, and then you're like, I don't believe in Ajogan.
No. But Hoff's explanation for these things is just no, I don't believe it. It's the dumb explanation. Like I don't know if you've ever met like dumb atheists who don't come to their reasoning through like, oh, God just doesn't make sense because blah blah blah. Like their reasoning is like, God doesn't make sense because nobody's stronger than me along those lines. You know what I mean? Because I'm so jacked, or how could they be smarter than a human? Because humans are the smartest, or things along those. You know?
Okay.
Have you ever met people like that?
I have not.
Because I have. I have met people who are like, I'm like, how could there be a God when I'm so cool? Basically, I'm obviously simplifying their arguments basically, but like it's the idea is that like I can't think of it as a possibility. I can't think of it as a possibility because I'm too dumb to think of it as a possibility. Rather than, oh, I have reasonings why it's not possible or reasonable to think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think real hard of a good like conspiracy theory that isn't built on any foundation as opposed to real shaky foundation. And I can't think of one.
It's hard. Well, even the most ridiculous conspiracy theories are usually built on some sort of foundation.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
You know what it's like? It's like the QAnon JFK Jr. stuff, where there's just no sense. There's just no sense. Where they're like JFK Jr.'s gonna come back at the site where his dad got shot. He's gonna come back after pretending to be dead for like 15 years or whatever the fuck, and he's gonna be the savior of QAnon or some shit.
Yeah.
And there's no supporting evidence to it at all. It's not like the flat Earth where they're like, we'll just make up some bullshit that seems like it makes sense, like a table's flat and the Earth is basically like a table.
or Lord Stephen Christ, where he just has some lovely protractors.
The Lord Stephen thing, like the thing with him is the whole what is it, the inverse Earth or whatever, the concave Earth theory. Mm-hmm. There's at least some reasoning there. It's shitty reasoning, but there's some foundation to it.
Oh yeah.
But then the whole, oh, I'm also Jesus thing. There's nothing for that. Zero.
Yeah. Angie's like, yes, because of the glass ceiling, because of the glass sphere in the sky. And Hoff is like, no, ghosts aren't real because I'm Jesus.
Yeah.
I love the whole, they're after me because they know I know the truth. That or because I sent death threats to Obama.
One of the two. I'm not sure which.
One of the two. I'm not sure which.
It's probably both. I mean, they know the truth that you sent death threats to Obama. Anyway, yeah. That's that episode.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Teague is the most likable he's ever been in this episode because he's actually useful and helpful.
Yeah.
He's not just like he's annoyingly not helpful in the part where he's like actually needed. Again, I'm going on the it's not a dream thing because that really pisses me. That really pissed me off at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
It's like it wasn't necessary at all. There's no reason for that to be a thing.
But this is the thing, they do the same thing. They 100% do the Wizard of Oz thing, where he looks at the axe and then the cigar box for the cigar midget that's Kramer's friend because he had a cigar, and so he does a little you were there and you were there, and Teague was still an asshole.
But yeah, it's really. Yeah, if going with the dream part, since the weird ghost wound thing doesn't make sense if it's a dream.
Okay, let me workshop this. See how you feel about it. I think it might make the episode a top tier one.
I like it.
Is if they go to the cabin, that's where Hoff gets the head injury. So now. Did Hoff go through a time loop that they did not experience?
Oh,
or is it the head? Or is it the head issue? But then he has the arm issue, so now you're like, okay, he went through a time thing that they didn't.
See, I like that.
It's way better, isn't it?
It's way better because it explains specifically for Hoff.
Yeah,
and then they would wake up at the cabin.
And it's actually at the place.
Yeah,
and not he got a head injury and then Scooby-Doo adventure.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like if he's trying to open,
it's not the whole episode.
If he's trying to open a door or something or a window in his room and it's stuck and then he opens it and falls and bangs his head or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Angie comes in, it's like, what happened? He's like, this door was stuck and I fell.
Yeah.
And then go through and then the next day he wakes up in the bed in where he fell down or whatever.
Right. Or on the couch.
Or yeah. Or he's on the bed with the towel on his head.
Right.
Classic. Oh, you fell down stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. If they just change the position of the bonk, basically, it improves the episode considerably.
Yeah.
Even with everything else as is, basically.
I had fun with this episode.
I did too. Not Destiny. Still good.
Yeah. Just the picture Destiny with a Dolly Parton wig.
Yeah, that is basically.
But no clothes.
Basically that. But bubbles instead.
Yeah.
Bubbles for clothes.
Yeah. She's fun. The fat cowboy is hilarious in his actions. He's great. He just shows up. He's beating Hoff up. Then he's leaving. He's throwing axes with Hanna-Barbera effects.
Yeah, it's weird. The thing...
He's yelling the weirdest shit. Daughter Jezebel.
Yeah. Sinners must be purged. Corruptors must be killed.
Yeah. I mean, he basically
just like Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah. The more I talk about, the more he just sounds like a fat Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
What in tarnation?
Yeah, he is basically. He is a little bit Yosemite Sam. He just ratchet him up to actual murder rather than cartoon murder.
Yeah.
And axe. I don't.
Well, yeah, but
just blades in general.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But actual murder rather than cartoon
murder. It's guess what, Marty? It's a smaller leap to go from guns to axe and knives than it is to go from Pepe Le Pew to Fat Cowboy.
I was going for slow guy chasing after running woman, but that was the whole thing. But
he's not that slow.
No,
the thing.
He runs a lot in this episode.
He does.
He gets his steps in.
the thing that people always miss with ghost stories, and they do it here too, and it's a thing that, and it's a thing that just they never focus on as a key aspect of what makes ghosts, is the
traumatic experience.
Well, not just the traumatic experience, but the fact that they're like tied to it, and that they can't escape it. That even when it's not like a literal time loop like it is in this episode, it's a time loop for them. Like they just keep on repeating the same motions over and over again, which is I assume which is why Fat Cowboy some of his actions are just kind of erratic, like again beating up Hoff and just leaving.
Yeah,
because that's probably what he did.
Well, also it's out of place for him.
Right.
So like he's like doing the same.
He's running the same rounds.
Yeah, and he gets pulled away by Hoff, but then he has to like recenter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it always bothers me that people never like focus on that aspect of it, because it's there and people know about it, but it's never highlighted. Because that's like the whole tragedy and bad thing for ghosts, is that being just trapped in the worst moment of your life,
and then
also when you're murdered.
But then the Destiny thing was a little fun, where it's almost like she kind of figured out the loophole to the.
Yeah, she's a bit more aware than everybody else.
Yeah.
And that she's like she has to stay in the bath. If she gets out of the bath, she's gonna get.
And if he finds you, he's gonna kill you. It doesn't matter who. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's a funner presence, and it's also one of those things where again
why I was saying get in the bath.
Yeah, it also makes sense.
I mean, there's other reasons why.
Yeah,
get in the bath. But yeah,
I kind of would have wished there was an outside of the time loop reference to Destiny.
Like how?
Just any reference.
I see. Okay.
Because then there would be a reason for the picturing of Destiny.
Okay.
Yeah. In the vagary, because they kind of, they were trying to do the play it both ways, where is it just a head injury, weird dream, but then the arm thing, and
yeah, that's I see what you're saying. So they could make it'd be like he like at some point he'd be like wait, Destiny, and then they could do, I see what you're saying. And then you could question whether it's actually a ghost that just looks like Destiny, or whether it's the head injury.
Yeah,
add more confusion to that. Yeah, no.
And for me, what immediately reminded me of her, other than seeing her name on the opening credits, was that he asked for the hammer. I'm like, Destiny knows where the hammer is. It's filed under H.
That would actually be a real good one. If he was looking for a hammer in there too, like in the weird time loop nonsense, if he was looking for a hammer and he just goes, it's filed under H, and he just gives her a weird look, and then
yeah, there's like a little reference. I mean,
a nod.
Yeah, they mentioned hammers twice, which is like, it's like they were right there.
They were cusp.
Yeah. They were on Destiny Eve, and they didn't close the deal.
Yeah.
So
I was half expecting Angie to immediately get into the tub when she said.
But she didn't tell her. She didn't tell Angie.
She didn't tell her.
She didn't tell Angie to get in the tub.
Oh right, she just said that she just says that she wouldn't be killed while she's in the tub.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's because Angie talks and people listen, whereas Hoff just says stuff and people just keep going with what they're doing.
Yeah, you're right. I was I was still expecting that to happen when she entered that situation. I thought it would be a funny juxtaposition where Hoff's like, yeah, you get in the tub, yeah, whatever, and then Angie goes in, she's like, get in the tub, and she just goes, yup, and he gets in the tub and just is fine.
Yeah,
it would be just funny.
Or if she got in and then dispelled the ghosts again.
Also true. Also be funny.
So where are we gonna rank this episode? This is definitely an upper tier episode.
Yeah, it's up there.
7.
It gets points for Destiny alone.
Yeah.
Even if she's not Destiny.
Is it the best so far in this season?
The problem is, as we mentioned, it's just misses some obvious things to make it less than it should be. Like even as Cliff said, just moving where the bonk happens would improve the episode considerably. So, and the whole it's all a dream thing is dumb anyway.
Yeah,
it's a thing you can do, but it's like almost never done right.
Yeah, and I think like again, and if you just move it to the cabin,
yeah,
then it makes sense because the time loop situation is where you can use the dream or not a dream.
Yes.
They were so close. They were just like with Destiny. They were so close and just missed it by a little bit.
Yep.
But the question isn't, is this a 10? The question is this better than episode 2, Creature?
Where is that?
That's at 8.
Because, I mean, Creature is full of dumb shit that makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's also full of missed opportunity.
Yes.
It's tough. I gotta think about Oh, sorry. I gotta think about that for a minute.
It's like, on one hand, this one has Destiny. On the other hand, Creature has Malibu in it. They both end up at a beach for some mysterious reason. So, partway through the episode.
So I don't know who did Species. I don't remember who the director for that. But that versus David Lynch / Sam Raimi, because that's basically the influences for this episode, obviously.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I might lean a little bit more to this episode, if only because Fat Cowboy is more fun than Diet Species.
I think. I would say specifically, Fat Cowboy is more fun than the. What were the people who was hunting fake species?
It was like the SWAT team.
It was a SWAT team or was it FBI? I can't remember.
The SWAT team.
It was a SWAT team. Yeah, I think because them and Fat Cowboy are basically the same villain in many respects, whereas Fake Species is the weird villain / Wooby at the same time. She's both at the same time. So
even still, Destiny is better. Even Fake Destiny.
Yeah, if anybody, and Fake Destiny is almost in her position, except Fake Destiny did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Unlike Fake Species, who murdered several people.
Yeah. We are Fake Destiny truthers.
Yeah. Yeah. No. You know what? I'll put it above just for Fake Destiny. Fuck it. I'm just not sure how far above.
Yeah, I don't think it's a ton above.
It's not far up.
I'm not giving it a full.
No, I don't think digit. Yeah, agreed. What feels good? 8.5.
Are you going as high as 8?
Well, 8 is where Creature is.
8 is Creature.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought...
But we also learned our lesson last time because we peaked early in season 1.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not guaranteeing, but this one kind of feels like it might be real close to the peak.
I think I know. 8.69.
Nice.
All right. So what's the next on the docket?
Next up is episode 7, Curse of the Mirrored Box.
I suspect that it may involve some sort of malignant influence by a reflective cube. I think that might be what it's about.
Is it a divot box thing?
I don't. Is that what we're guessing? What the box is?
I don't know what you're guessing.
Well, are we supposed to guess?
We're supposed to guess what the episode's about. I just told you the title.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I guess I'm going Divik Box.
So we're guessing. So we know what the episode's about because it's about a curse from a mirrored box. But you're guessing. Well, okay. Well, let's. I suppose. What's the nature of the curse? Would be what we're guessing.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. The description mentions not the box nor the curse.
Oh, okay. That's worrying on a couple levels.
I'm sure they're present, but I'm just telling you that the single sentence description mentions neither of those.
Okay, fine.
I mean, it could be an allegory.
Joke. It could be an alligator.
I guarantee.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be so good if they just fight Leatherhead. Oh, that's what I want. That's even better than my joke guess of vampires every time.
What if Leatherhead was a vampire?
Okay, joke guess is vampire Leatherhead now. That's my new joke guess. Actual guess. I'm just gonna assume that it's. I'm gonna assume that it's like a Little Shop of Horrors type thing. Well, actually, I suppose that's the wrong. I suppose that's the wrong reference. More like a.
Like Gremlin's shop of.
Yeah, more like that, where it's they find they acquire weird artifact and it does weird things.
Andre's guess is Rick Moranis sings with the plant.
Yeah, well, I was thinking Little Pet Shop of Horrors, which is a totally different thing.
The Littlest Pet Shop of Horrors.
Well, do you know that one, Marty?
I don't think so.
Because that's an anime.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an old one too. Like the one episode I remember from that is what is it? The it's a classic Faustian bargain type bullshit.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about. I actually have the manga for it.
Yeah. See, there you go.
So.
Yeah, it's a classic Faustian bargain type thing where
It's overly terrible.
Closer than you think. The
first one's a rabbit.
yeah. That's what I was gonna mention because what is it? Couple has lost their child, and this dude's like, okay, you're sad because you lost your child. I sell pets. Here's this rabbit, and the rabbit looks just like the child. And he says, whatever you do, don't feed it meat, I think, is the thing.
I mean, you shouldn't do that with rabbits anyway.
Well, don't do a certain thing to it. I forget what it is.
I think it was like sugar or something.
Maybe it's sugar.
Yeah, it was sugar. It was no sweets.
No, yeah, that's right. Don't give it candy. No sweets. So, otherwise, so it's a perfect replica of their lost child, but it can't have sweets, but it really wants sweets. And of course, of course, they give it sweets, and then it turns into a bunch of rabbits that eat them. and it's that sort of shit every episode.
Yeah, but the thing is they were gonna the rabbits multiply regardless. The sweets were actually poison to it, so the rabbit started dying after like the 7th generation or whatever.
Was that it?
Yeah. And the reason why is it was a relation to the daughter actually died of heroin overdose, and while she was on her deathbed, they still gave her fucking heroin and killed her. So the idea was they were still going to die by rabbits. But the only thing that stopped the rabbits from taking over the city is because they gave them the sweets.
Right.
And they all died.
That was it. Okay, yeah. It's been so long I forgot.
It's not how heroin overdoses work.
No, but it was drugs in general.
I don't know if it was. I don't remember if it was. Was it specifically heroin? I thought it
showed a needle, so
was
I'm under the assumption that it was supposed to be heroin, but she was like emaciated to the point of nothing. And,
right. It's that they're being punished for being shitty parents, basically.
Yeah, she was literally on a drip IV, and yeah,
and she's like, I need my fix.
Yeah,
and they killed her because they couldn't. Fuse.
So yeah. Which what?
What's your guess for stuff?
I said Divik Box.
Oh, Divik Box.
Once again, it mentions nothing about a box.
I know. It doesn't mean I'm not going to say that.
So, Hoff is shocked that a child he saved 6 years ago, maybe from a burning car, maybe not, I don't know, is now part of a Haitian voodoo cult.
Haitian voodoo cult. Okay.
Fun.
potentially problematic, this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah. All right.
Anyhow.